Hey everybody, this is Mona Bodane, and I'm excited to welcome all of you to my new podcast, Uptown with Mona, where we will be engaging with various hip hop artists, poets, and entrepreneurs. So come listen and hang out with Mona Bodane and Uptown with Mona. Today's show is sponsored by Veganhood.
Meet with me at Vegan Hood in New York City. I heard that they had the best vegan fried chicken here, so I had to come check it out. For appetizers, we ordered the cheese fries and the Beyond Meat stuffed empanadas. Both were super delicious. And for entrees, of course, we had to try their famous vegan fried chicken and their shrimp fry. I have to say, this is probably the best vegan comfort food I've ever had. The mac and cheese was so tasty, the potato salad was well seasoned and flavorful. I'm telling you, you need to check this place out next time you're in New York.
Hey y'all, sorry we're a little bit late, we're trying to get it together over here. So, hey, thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight to Uptown with Mona. Oh my God, y'all don't understand. These ladies. Wait, before I do that, let me say this. We have a sponsor. My sponsor is now Uptown with Vegan Hood. And let me tell you something. Their food is amazing. I've eaten their food. They're on 8th Avenue, which is the equivalent. What's this other? Frederick Douglass Boulevard, and between 114th and 115th. The food is so dope. So you have got to come out. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you this. I eat vegan sometimes. I'm vegan when I feel like it. Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't. And so what happens is when I feel like eating vegan, I go to Vegan Hood. The food, it doesn't taste like it's vegan, if you understand what I'm saying. So for those of you who say, I don't like this and I don't like vegan food, it tastes nasty, trust me, the food is dope. So I had to share that. Again, the name of that place is called Vegan Hood. Very dope restaurant. Okay, so now here we go. Mona Baudet here. I want to get right into it because these ladies, I want to call them chicks, right? Because I'm from the Bronx and that's what we say, right? These chicks are so dope, right? They are the most outstanding ladies that I know and I respect. They are the dopest ladies and they're very outspoken. So I'm telling you, you're in for a treat tonight. So let me bring in the ladies. They are the Gossiping Heifers, and these are my homegirls.
What's up? Hello.
Ladies. What's going on, ladies? How you doing?
Girl. Tired.
Oh, man. Y'all don't understand how I've been waiting for this interview with y'all.
Girl, we've been counted down, too, because, we love us some Mona.
I know.
Mona,
I love
Mona.
y'all too. I love y'all too. I love y'all so much. I'm so happy y'all are here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So first, before we start, how you doing tonight? How you doing today?
Rochelle?
I was going to let you go first, Uchi, but I'm spiritually charged, girl. I was all in that eclipse today.
Uh-huh. Yes. Bill, I'm a little tired because, we always multitasking, and I was able to pull off a little eclipse-themed dinner for the family, and then get right back on this upcoming cookbook I got coming out because I'm doing my last-minute editing on that. So I'm just like, dude, I'm ready to send this to Amazon and get this popping.
Yes, I understand. So both of y'all feeling all right? Y'all had a pretty good day today. Everybody got to see the eclipse. I was not impressed by the fucking eclipse. I wasn't doing shit. I wasn't going nowhere. I saw it on TV. You see my background. That's I took a snapshot from Channel 7 News when they had the eclipse, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'll use that and put that on as my
that's what I'm talking about.
Only thing that pissed me off, Mona, was Texas had a severe overcast. So
right.
We were still able to see the eclipse from our backyard. We, the sun came out just enough for us to see it.
Right.
I did my affirmations, I did my prayer, and I was working in my garden through the whole time. So,
You've been spiritually charging all day.
Yeah, all week. I took a spiritual bath yesterday. I did a spiritual bath yesterday. I did my spiritual candle for myself today.
Mm-hmm.
With a white candle, write my name in it, use my herbs or whatever. So I've been on it all day because, like I said, this is why I've been really fooling with people during the lunar all the
During
way
this
to
time,
the
yeah.
eclipse.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just been backed off a lot of folks. Just
You got a woosah.
Well, you got
Yeah,
to
for
Come
boost
to
myself.
woosah. I know. I understand. I did the same thing today. Not the exact same thing. I lit my candles. Tamika was like, "Make sure you light your candles. Make sure you light your candles. Make sure you put your, do what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do. Just do what you gotta do." So I did what I had to do today, and I was trying to relax. But every time we try to relax, it's always last minute, trying to make sure everything is right
Yeah.
and ready to go, because
Yeah.
Uptown with Mona is going to be on the map, and
Yes.
we got a lot of I got a lot of shit to do.
That part.
Oh, girl, but you're definitely gonna have to make sure this podcast on the map, because I don't know if people realize, just in the short time we've known you, it's just for such an easy, laid back, come as you are conversation. And that's something that's not always welcome in social circles, because everybody wants a spotlight. And I'm like, dude, why can't we all share a spotlight? You get a flashlight, I get a flashlight. Okay, how about that?
Right. And me, I just, me, I'm just whatever.
Be chilling. Mona
Whatever.
be chilling.
I be chilling.
Good vibes. And that's
Thank
all
you.
I plan to be surrounding myself with. That's the one thing I've noticed. I'm glad you had Tamika to help you out, to show you what you needed to do as far
Thank God.
Yes, thank you, Tamika.
Woo, thank you for Tamika.
People don't realize the energy that happened today, even though I wanted more as far as the visual, but still, I know the energy the universe is giving us today. And I didn't focus on the negative.
Right.
On what everybody's, talking about. I'm focusing on the spiritual side, on how to grow myself. And she's right, we did the incense, I did my candles, I made sure my ancestor candle was going. And just spiritually getting yourself together. And this is the one thing I'm gonna tell you: whenever you do start really getting into your spiritual walk, you're gonna lose a lot of people. You're gonna fall out with people.
Oh, I know about that already.
Yeah, people got to be removed.
Yeah, I know about that. That's my life. That's my family. That's my family history. So I know what it is.
Yeah.
And thank God I listen to my gut. I pay attention to shit around me, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I think I'm gonna go this way instead of that way, and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah, the good Lord has blessed you intuition, and your intuition is spirit speaking to you.
Absolutely.
That ain't it.
All the time. God has gotten me through so many, I can't even tell you, so many situations where I went left instead of right, and it was like, oh damn, thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
He turned you around.
We still here. We all here.
Exactly.
So let's get to some of these questions, right? Let me ask you the first question. Ready?
Yeah.
So how did the idea for the Gossiping Heifers come about? Wait, let me tell you something funny before you start. I was talking to my homeboy today. He was like, yo, Mona, who's going to be on the podcast? Didn't you say it was called the something hyenas? I'm like, no, nigga.
No.
Gossiping. Yo, the shit was so funny. I forgot the name he said, but it was so funny. And I was like, no, bro.
If it's hyenas, I want to be the Whoopi Goldberg hyena.
I know that's right.
That's the one I'm going to be. Okay.
Yeah, right. All right. So, how did the idea for the Gossiping Heifers podcast come about?
I am a major podcast fan. I listen to all types of podcasts, and at the time, one of my friends had a podcast with his wife, and I was like, "Dude, Rocky and I could do this." Now, first, Rocky was not interested when I brought the idea to her. So
I was never interested, even after.
You know what? Even afterwards. But I had somebody else that I was friends with try to co-host with me. And the chemistry was so bad. I mean, like, it was just bad. And I begged and I pleaded with Rocky. So she finally came on board. And then we had a former name, which was by my company, Protege. And I was like, that don't have no ring to it.
Right.
Rocky and a couple of shots of rum. How about the Gossiping Heifers? I said, that's it. That's it.
That was the ancestry drink of rum in my system. I just blurted it out. I just blurted it.
Oh my God. You know, that name, for the first time I heard that name, me and JP were on, and he was like, yeah, you don't know about the Gossiping Heifers? I was like, the Gossiping Heifers? I cracked up. I said, yo, that is the dopest name. I'm like, I bet you those ladies are funny. He was like, yo, they're hysterical.
I appreciate that because
finally got to it. I got on with y'all, and I'm like, oh man, this is it. These are gonna be my friends for life. They're gonna be my friends for life.
But that's funny you say that because the name I didn't think was gonna register with people like that. Every time the name was mentioned, you either get like a puzzled look or a laughter.
I can tell you one more thing. I can tell you another one. I was in the store the other day, and somebody was saying, yeah, one of my friends was like, yeah, what's going on? When's your next podcast? I'm like, well, it's every Monday. He says, well, who's coming this week? I said, the Gossiping Heifers. The lady was standing on the line. She was ear hustling, and she cracked up. She said, the Gossiping Heifers, and she just couldn't stop. It was so funny. I'm like, so you got that's a dope ass name for real.
Well, that was Rocky's concept, and I'm hoping she come back soon because the internet has been acting a little special. So she's probably trying to get back in as we speak.
No, she's here. I see her in the back in the room. I don't know what she's doing, but yeah.
Okay,
there she go.
No, it kicked me out. I don't know what happened.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know.
It had me backstage. I was like,
the internet's bugging out lately.
It's the eclipse and the energy.
It's part of this solar eclipse and this retrograde we got going on.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying laying low and chilling out and staying out of everybody's business.
Out of the BS.
Out of the business.
I'm just at a point, the moment I see bullshit or nonsense, I'm just permanently removing you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I've gotten to an age where I'm not finna keep repeating on how you're supposed to treat me or talk to me. Mm. I don't have time to keep telling you, okay, I don't do this, I don't like that. So you know what? Let me help myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we was talking about the name.
I know. I heard,
I wanted to give her some because the reaction you give us. Sometimes we got the complete opposite.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to name drop. Rushion McDonald told us that we should not go with that name.
Okay. Oh, he hated it.
Yeah.
Oh, you told me that. Yeah, you told me about that. Mm-hmm.
He hated the name, and at first we were at the table again, like, okay, what can we change it to because everybody likes this name. And at the time we were at a local station, and the station manager was like, "You better not change your name."
Yeah, and Pam Wells, she's a DJ,
right?
Memphis and here in Texas. She was like, "Y'all better not."
Yeah,
Pam Wells. Yeah, Pam Wells was like, "You better not."
Now there were some repercussions because when you go to ask for certain interviews, depending on who the gatekeeper is, they hear the name and automatically assume, "Oh, it's a hood show," or some of that nature. And I'm like, well, if that's what you want to assume without doing research, then fine. But we have been, we were very blessed to get a lot of different personalities on.
Yeah.
Dope. Before I ask you the next question, how old are you guys, and who's the oldest and who's the youngest?
I'm the oldest, and we're 4 years apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. All right. So next question. Can you tell us about your background and how it has influenced your podcast content?
Go ahead, Rocky.
I don't know why you want to ask me that because I ain't gonna be bothered, but being that we were doing different, we did political, we did what the latest gossip was or what was trending. So it was kind of like we had certain segments of what we would do and we would talk about it. I did like to the point where we finally got to that part where we wasn't having that many guests.
Okay.
I love that part because a lot of the times the guests, Michelle had to make sure that I would gel with them. Because we've had some I didn't gel with, and it was obvious.
Well, Rocky's being a hairstylist, she naturally has good interaction with people. That's a master of conversation when you are dealing with people on that basis. Hairstylist, barber, waiter, anything that interacts with the public. So I think that's what Rocky really brought to the table because she interacts with people all the time and she's very blunt spoken.
And I would ask questions and Michelle would be like, "Damn, girl, I almost forgot to ask him that." I'm like, "Girl, I'm nosy. That's why." But Yeah, we talked about a lot of different things. So it wasn't just gossip. You know, that was, I know people just ran with the name and thought that's all we did. No, because our community does not keep up what's going on with the political, you know, what's going on, who running or whatever. So we did like touching on that to keep people abreast of what was really going on.
That goes into question number 3. What was the podcast all about? I mean, what else was going on with your podcast?
The podcast, I want y'all to think about y'all favorite aunt sitting at a kitchen table, sipping their favorite tea, coffee, or yak, and talking about things the way it's supposed to be spoken. Because we all have these backdoor conversations, but when you're in public, you don't want to present a certain opinion. But that don't exist on our podcast.
Not with y'all.
That don't exist on our podcast.
Hey, my attitude, if you knock on my door and I answer it, don't get upset.
Right.
Because I didn't knock on yours.
Because we had an opportunity, the podcast overall was like a variety of topics. There was a time we were on J. Anthony Brown's radio show doing a segment for politics. And then we would break our own podcast down where we were talking about gossip, weird stuff, news, just some of everything. And then, of course, topics that affect women.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, sometimes on these internet streets, women, depending on where they are and who they are, they may not be able to vocalize what's really going on with women in this country. And we was like, man, damn that. Y'all want to control our cookies.
I got you.
Want to play with our cookies and control them. You can't have both.
You can have one or the other.
One or the other. Either you're going to play or we're not playing. Go
right.
And this cookie need to be comfortable at 24/7, baby. You're going to have control over it.
Oh, my God. You ladies are funny. So now, how do you decide on the topics for each episode that you do?
Michelle mainly did that. She would look up stuff and get her little list together, for which I hate it sometimes because I liked it more of a free flow conversation. Michelle was more structured. So I was like, look, bring it up and let's just talk about it. Let's hit the facts and talk about it. But Michelle mainly would put everything together. This is what we're talking about. Then we're going to go to commercial and we're going to be doing this. I showed up.
Right. And
that was my job. Show up.
Right. You just showed up. I'm here. I'm done. Let's go.
And if I saw a story I thought was interesting, I would just DM it to her.
Right.
Yeah.
If she liked it, okay, I'm gonna put this in. So
right.
I did my little part.
She did her part, but I don't want Rocky to cut herself short because a majority of people tuned in because of Rocky's very blunt spoken manner. I mean, I had my moments, but see, if I bring something to Rocky and I know she ain't vibing it, she'll be like, okay, girl, yeah, okay, whatever. Next. You're not gonna get her to, you know, claim.
I'm not talking about it. I'm not gonna discuss it. I don't want to talk about this shit.
Did you have some treats today, Rocky?
No, not yet.
You should have. I wish you would have before we got on.
No, we did earlier.
Yeah, you know, but I'm like this 24/7.
I know,
but I ain't have an edible. That's what you worried about. The edible.
I wish you would have.
Because the edible sometimes, because I know, girl, I was out there doing slave work in their yard, doing that eclipse. So if I took a nice hot shower, and if I had took an edible, I don't think I'd be here right now.
You'd be out of it. You'd be out.
I'd be curled up in that bed, like, oh. And then I got fresh sheets too. Oh, ain't nothing like fresh sheets.
Fresh sheets.
Yeah, nice, clean, soft, good smelling sheets.
Girl, for real, clean ass and clean sheets.
Clean ass and clean sheets, and you be out till tomorrow. Yep, good sleep.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. But you know, as Michelle said, you know, I don't think I'm blunt spoken. I just say what's on my mind. And trust me, I try my best when I'm talking to somebody, depending on how I feel about you. I'm breaking it down in my head, like, how can I say this without being offensive or hurt their feelings?
Right.
I get no gas about you, you just get it.
I try.
It's difficult.
It's hard.
Because people don't respect boundaries nowadays. No. Or, you know, that you have standards for yourself. And I'm like, dude, I'm not cool with this. I'm not discussing it no more. I'm not even entertaining it. And people getting their feelings about it. I'm like, I thought that's what adults are supposed to do. instead of dwell on the BS. But we in that age where all the BS is entertaining.
Yes, all of it.
And I don't care if they are offended.
Girl, and I love you. I love you for that. And I love you
my
for that.
attitude is you offended me.
Right.
So we're going to both be some pissed off jitters.
You can curse. You can curse on my show.
We're going to be both some upset niggas.
Niggas.
Get the hell out of my face. And, you know, and Michelle knows me. Before I say anything, you get a look.
Right.
That you about to
get that look and you're like, And
if you bypass that look and your common sense don't click in, oh, her face, she got a resting bitch face, then you get everything you deserve.
Resting bitch face.
Yeah, I see that shit coming. That's the funniest shit to me. The people that don't know Rocky like I do, I can tell by her tone and facial expression what's about to go down.
Well, of course, that's your sister. Of course, you know.
Of course.
You know what's ready to happen.
I be trying to warn folks. I'm like, okay, take a chill. You about to make a pop. Don't do it.
Right.
And
tell Mona about the dude that pissed me off and tried to approach me at a damn party.
Oh, girl, the suspended dude.
Yes, we were at a hip hop. This dude, our homegirl, threw a it was like at a galleria. And this dude did some real fuck shit and threw our names in there, not realizing, okay, that wasn't Michelle, and then threw me in there, and I never worked with your punk ass. Right. So I was like, once you spit on my character, we good. I'm done with you. This nigga tried to run up on me while I was talking to a girl. Michelle tried her best to stop him.
Because we had just found out it was some nonsense that he made up in his own damn mind. He had deleted Rocky, and I'm like, Rocky ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't either. But since you want to, do across the board action, now you're gonna forever have a problem with her. So at that gathering, like Rocky said, he was like, "Oh, hey, Rocky," and I kept saying, "Don't do it." I was in the background, like, "No."
Yeah, Michelle tried to reach it. The girl I was talking to about died.
That shit.
Because I looked at his ass like, nigga, I know you're not approaching me. I didn't say nothing. My face, he turned around.
He didn't get it. Oh, he got it. He got it.
No, he saw my face because I
saw the face and did a quick turn around.
Yeah.
My homegirl died laughing because she was like up close to witness it all. Nigga, did you try to speak to me?
But that is something Rocky and I take seriously. Once you insult our character, it's a wrap.
Right.
It's a wrap.
We done.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we done.
So let me ask you this. Okay. Can you share the process of creating an episode from your podcast from the conception to the publishing?
The conception is, of course, the show was already laid out. We had our intro, we had our ending credits, and we had our commercials that we threw in between. Mm-hmm. The content we put in, of course, it was an outline of topics we were going to bring up, hit on it real quick with our own spin and humor on it. Mm-hmm. Occasionally we would have guests, but like toward the ends of our podcast, we dwindled down a lot on guests.
Right.
It was a better chemistry and flowing conversation. Mm-hmm. And most people, like I said, when it was something that was my fault because I was trying to be in a certain, in my mind, competition with other people who don't even know the hell we existed. Okay. So I would book certain guests. And of course, I had to clear this chemistry with whoever we had on the show. Are they going to fit into a good conversation with me and Rocky?
Right.
Because we have had some guests that were a little, full of themselves. Mm-hmm. And, Rocky would have to check them, or we'd have to go ahead and just end that interview off completely, because that's something that we're not going to tolerate. Because if you feel that you're at a certain point in your career that you can talk down to people or talk crazy to people, don't give a damn who you are. You don't.
I don't. You're not Jesus. You're not God. You can get it. Because we had your boy Pierre on one time.
Yes.
And he was late and he said something kind of slick. And I was like, hold the fuck up. Wait a minute. Mm-hmm. That girl, Portia, whatever her name is from the Diddy show.
Popper from Make
Popper. I about cussed that bitch out. I didn't like Kevin Hart's ex-wife.
Oh, God.
I did not like Christopher Williams, ODL ass. I think that might be and Faison.
Oh, I'm gonna be editing
Yeah.
this.
Oh my
I'm gonna be
God.
editing this out because I'm putting this up on Spotify. I'm gonna have to edit all of this. I have to edit this.
So these are people that I bumped heads with. Now the only one I really had a back and forth was with that young lady, Poker.
Okay.
Cause she really tried to get. I complimented. They did a makeover on that girl I Love New York. I thought the makeover was amazing.
Yes.
She took it as an insult that I thought that girl looked so much better. Hoochie, that's not what I said. And I'm not them chicks that you can just threaten.
Wow.
Because I know by rain you ain't gonna catch me.
Wow.
That part. Okay, that part.
Oh my God.
But once we got that concept together, most of our content was aired live. So we, the content was aired live. We take clips from it.
Right.
We would publish it to YouTube, air it on Facebook and Instagram, and then we would take the audio portion and upload it to podcast directories, Apple, Spotify.
Thank you for the information. Thank you for the information.
Yeah, because that way you cross-reference, because everybody doesn't watch podcasts on YouTube unless they're a devoted follower. Right. But a lot more people listen, because that's what I do when I'm cooking, cleaning. I got a podcast on that I'm listening to. So that's what it's more. Yeah, it's more of a I can really take time and do whatever I'm doing and actually enjoy whatever's broadcasted.
Right. Cool. Yes, so number six, question number 6. What have been some of the most memorable moments or discussions on the podcast?
I ain't gonna lie, I still get hyped over talking to Johnny Gill.
What?
Yeah. Johnny Gill was so down to earth, so sweet.
Yes.
He's definitely one, and Cheech and Chong, that was one of my favorite.
Oh my God!
Cheech and Chong.
Tommy Chong.
Really? No kidding.
And he also talks to what is the professor's name? Jane.
Professor Jane Elliott.
I love talking to her.
Yeah, she did. She does racial studies and does these tests with white students and black students about what race really is in America. Wow. So that talking to people like that really gave us more insight on why we admire them, because that's the people we really wanted on the podcast, is people that we actually admired, I would say a supporter. Fan I ain't too crazy about, but supporter of. So with these great conversations and great people, we've even had some people who've returned multiple times. We've had Yamanika on several times, and Godfrey, yes, another one.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so we've been very fortunate.
And I mean, and Michelle, I didn't know who Morena was at the time, but Michelle brought on the show. Love Morena. She's another comedian, and we had a lot of comedians on our platform, and I came to a clear understanding that I didn't want to talk to too many more comedians.
Okay.
Some of them, it's a small percentage, like Morena, Ali Sadiq, Godfrey, even your girl that you they knew when to turn it off and when it was okay. Right. But also their comedy was more of a mature comedy. It wasn't like, oh, look at you old, or look at you. The shit you hear in the lunchroom in junior high school. Right. So, and that's why I was like telling Michelle, we got to slow down on so many comedians. If they're not on that level where they have common sense, I don't want to deal with them. Right. Because it's like, it's almost like some of them use the comedy for toxic behavior. I don't want no parts of. But we had some of everybody, singers, comedy. It was nice. It was nice.
Nice. Okay, number 7. How do you handle disagreements or differing opinions when recording the podcast between you ladies?
Now, first of all, us being sisters in real life, that's already on the table, so we know each other inside out. It did take a moment for me to realize certain cues from Rocky when it came to a show. if she wanted to wrap something up or not be on a topic too long, or really didn't want to engage any longer in the conversation with the guest. So once I mastered those cues from her, it became a better flow, because it was a point where, okay, let me do everything and really not involve Rocky as much as I should have. So that was something I did early on in our podcast, which I definitely was at fault for. But Rocky had pulled me to the side and said, look, if we gonna do this, we gonna do this together.
Right.
Okay. You just can't be, booking certain people without talking to me. You can't, at least go over the topics that we're gonna discuss, because you don't know how I feel about them.
Right.
You know what? You're absolutely right. But we have had some raw disagreements online, and usually when it's a disagreement online, Rocky bounces. We don't want to even broadcast what's going to take place behind the scenes. We're going to let, she going to go out, or I'm going to go out, and then behind the scenes, we'll hash it out. Because most of the time, what people want to see, especially, and I don't know what it is with us since we're sisters, there has been a competition almost. What can we do to turn them against each other?
Nothing.
Wow.
It's been tried many times. And I'm like, just because you may not understand our relationship as sisters, don't ever think you're going to bring anything over here to break that.
Mm-hmm.
She pisses me off, I piss her off. We work that out behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah.
But
I think we, Michelle is right. She started going over with the guests, and it was mainly the guests than anything. I think the biggest pet peeve that we really bumped heads about is if Michelle would do an interview of the Gossip and Heifers by herself. Right. Now that's when we would really have a butt heads, because I said, Michelle, Gossip and Heifers is plural. It's two of us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so I think we bumped heads more about that. With somebody contacting, and they know they can go to the Gossip and Heifers page. So Michelle would get the contact first, because she has control over that page. And I'm like, did nobody run shit by me? And I will act a fool in front of people.
Right.
What the fuck are you doing? And Michelle be sitting on the screen looking like, she'll mute it. I'll talk to you later. What?
Right, we'll deal with that later. Let's do the show. What is going on?
I'm like, it's two of us. Tell whoever that is that reached out to you, you need to run it by your sister.
Right. Yes. That's right.
So that was early complications we had.
Yeah.
We got together, because like I said, Rocky and I don't hold no bars. When, like I said, when we tick each other off, we're going to do it offline.
Right.
And see, that's the problem, I think, with people in general. Everybody wants to debate with each other online. If I really got that kind of friendship with you, we need to be on the telephone.
Right.
That part.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here we go. How do you engage and interact with your audience?
At first, we were but we accepted everybody who supported us.
Okay.
We were
big mistake
to everybody. That was a major mistake. Now, we're not saying that we're not grateful for who do support us and follow us, but there's some people that follow you and they like to mix in BS for their own entertainment. Like, how can I make their podcast a little more interactive with conflict and stuff of that nature? And it was getting to a point where people were actually doing it. It was like, let me go in the comments. We had one guy, we were interviewing Corey B. And we had a misunderstanding with a comedian. And I was like, okay, we're not dealing with this dude.
I know you're talking about.
On the night of the interview, he's all in the YouTube video. Oh, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? You know we're doing a live show, a live interview, and you want to come in here with this half-ass apology that's not authentic. Sir, if you're serious, you would have inboxed me.
Right.
Thanks.
So it got to be those little tidbits of mess. And Rocky was like, no more people on the show. We ain't doing it because there's too much conflict. We kept getting approached by people would have attitudes with us when they would approach us to be a guest on the show, and we refused.
Right.
So that's our right as having our own platform. If we were interested in talking to you, definitely
we'll reach out.
But for you to inbox us I want to be on your show. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you do? So Rocky had to handle somebody that asked that, well, I want to be
Ask me online.
He had to handle somebody the other day. Right. And somebody who was a comedian the other day asked Rocky, well, when am I going to get on y'all show? He kept asking. And Rocky was like,
nigga, if you've been paying attention to our show, you would know we ain't aired and did a show in a long time.
Right.
So you ain't paying attention. So that lets me know you just dry begging right now.
So it's a lot of opportunities. And like I said, that's why it's important to have rapport with people before you have them on your show. Because a lot of people would just jump on your inbox. I want to be a guest. Okay.
And a lot of times it would be a commercial or they wanted to, it's something they need to pay for.
Right.
While we interview, if you want us to bring up your book or bring up something that you're doing, you can pay a certain amount and we'll talk about it, but that's a goddamn commercial.
Right.
Exactly.
This is not an interview because it doesn't fit our format for one.
Right.
And I'll tell you another big problem me and Michelle did was being too cool and friendly with people. That was, I want to say, the biggest ultimate mistake in the beginning that we made. Yes. And that's why we had so many clashes with people and fallouts because we were being too open, too friendly. And you realize, okay, you got a snake, a disloyal person, a person that's just trying to get on. And when you realize what they are, then they get offended. Oh, well, you know, they did this or they said this.
They try to flip it.
And we still got that going on, even though we haven't been doing the podcast.
Right.
I'm like, damn.
Well, you know me. I'm always off into the cut, chilling out, minding my business. You know. So
that's what we try to do too, Mona. But like I said, it's like unfortunately the pandemic put out a new source of entertainment and it's pitting people against each other or starting mess. And the person who started just sits in the cut laughing. And or coming back and forth between you and the individual. You know, they said this the other night. Oh, he said that. And I'm like, look, don't bring me nothing else. I don't want no screen.
Yeah, I don't want to know. But you know, I find the funniest. I told Michelle, sorry, it's the main people that stir the most shit. I miss IG when it used to be fun. Well, if you wasn't going back and forth, mixing bones and telling this person that lie and telling that person that lie, they would still be cool. And then you could still have these lies with these people making you laugh. But you were more entertained by drama and toxic. Now you upset because half these people don't talk or deal with each other no more. Really? Okay.
So what do you hope listeners will take away from your podcast? Even if they are like, you know, since these are all, are they still playing? Your podcast is still playing on YouTube?
Yeah, it's still playing.
Yeah.
What do you hope people to take away from that?
I hope that Rocky and I encourage, number one, sibling love. Because you'd be surprised on where you look around and people have brothers and sisters and they have no type of interaction or relationship with them. Rocky, that's foreign to Rocky and I because that's not how we were raised.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, so I hope they take that seriously and that it's okay to have your own opinion and set boundaries. And see, that's the problem. Everybody is so busy being a yes man and not having the balls to say, look, I'm not cool with this. Right. I don't like the way you moving and I got to move away. That's that's something Rocky and I will always do. I'm not going to sit back and neither is she just for the sake of sitting back because you may disrupt the peace. No, you disrupted my peace.
That part.
Okay. So I got to say something because I'm not going to allow this to continue. So that's what I'm hoping people walk away with because we're in a society that everybody wants to be a yes man. They want to be down. And most of these people who are trying to be down with you, what benefits do they reap? Right. You know, I mean, because if you just pop up all of a sudden and you want to get chatty with me, I'm like, what do you want? That's
why are you trying to be my friend so hard?
What do you want? What do you want?
Right.
Yeah. And you have to be that way when folks is pushing themselves on you. And I'm like, okay, what do you want? And the same, and then nothing I'm not doing anymore. And I hate if I hurt y'all's feelings. If you've already fucked up with me, don't apologize. Just keep it moving.
I hear that.
Yeah, I'm not giving you a second bullet to load up your gun to give me the second time around. I just can't do it. Oh, you're so mean. No, it's boundaries. And I, like what Michelle just said, I think it's something with our people, brown people, that don't respect boundaries. Either you a bitch, you stuck up, or they no. I just don't want to deal with you and your nonsense. Or maybe I just don't understand. Like, you could be an atheist. I don't understand this. I ain't finna fuck with you.
Right.
You know, respect my boundaries and move it around. That's
Move
all
it
you
around.
gotta do.
Thank you.
I love her. I love you. I love you. I love y'all. I swear I love y'all. So now I know you've already talked about your with some of your guests. What was your most favorite guest that you've had on your podcast? Your
I'm not gonna
very
lie.
favorite.
I'm not starstruck easily, but Charlemagne the God.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Charlemagne the God and Godfrey for her.
Yes, because I'm a major Godfrey fan and a major Charlemagne the God fan. Now, Godfrey, the first time I talked, Rocky was at work. And me and him had like a conversation over an hour just about Black community and everything else. And Lord, he came back 2 more times. Then when it comes to Charlemagne the God, that's the one I was so nervous. So I was so nervous, I was shaking before we did our phone interview. And it's because you see Charlemagne as the star that he is and how he approaches his interviews. He's I'm on hands and I'm going to ask you anyway. So I really didn't know what to anticipate, but it was a great interview. We had him on for a second time, met him in person for his book, Black Privilege. Excellent book. So those were the 2 that stand out to me.
Okay. You know, a lot of these questions you have already answered just talking with me. I'm gonna have to ask them anyway. So
ask them, girl.
How do you maintain a good balance between entertainment and authenticity on the podcast?
It's the same.
It's the same, right?
It's the same. Because see, people are so used to seeing characters online that if you actually have a point where you meet them in person, you're expecting that same character. No, Rocky and I are as is.
Yeah. Right. I think that's the most dumbest shit, I must say, to have a character on a podcast or even on Instagram.
On social media, yeah.
This is not TV, sweetheart. You're not acting. You're not getting paid to act.
Right.
Be yourself. And the sad thing is, we had a friend that we was cool with in real life. And then when he got on IG, we fell out because he came on as this bigot. And I'm like, this is not how, I don't know this person. Yeah. But if this is what you want to portray online,
that's on you.
That's on you.
Yeah.
Because I ain't got time between your personalities.
Right. Yeah, it's civil. It gives me civil. It gives me fake.
Yeah, Sybil.
It gives me Brandy.
Some people don't know about Sybil. They don't understand Sybil. But
look
Sybil,
up Sally Field movie, Sybil. That was
baby.
That shit right there.
Well, hold on. I got one. It gives me Split. They should understand that's a recent more movie for.
That's for that, right? For them young people, because I never watched that movie, but I heard it was crazy. Movie. I heard it was crazy.
It's
crazy. It's a good ass movie, but it is crazy with all these damn different personalities. I'm like,
Sybil was normal compared to that nigga from Split, baby.
Yo, like, who are you today, dog? Yo, you on some shit for real?
Nah, I don't want to be a movie ruiner if you see it, but it was that last character that he went into.
Woo. That last personality was vicious.
Oh, baby, his body physically changed. But anyway.
Now I'm going to put that on later. Okay.
Right.
Continue.
All right. Number 12. What was the most challenging aspect of producing and hosting the Gossiping Heifers?
Oh, that's you, Michelle.
When we were doing radio.
Okay.
Because, see, a podcast you could do from anywhere depending on what media you're going to use, whether it just be audio or video. But for the radio, you physically had to be in the station. And that's how we basically mastered how going live worked.
Right.
Even it was from a radio aspect, and they would live stream our broadcast on their pages. But at the same time, you don't have chance to rehearse. You could if you want to, but you can't really predict what's going to happen live.
Right.
Like if we had a comedian on, and he forgot we were on radio and started cursing. And I had to remind him, like, dog, we live. You're going to get the FCC up in here. Let's just chill. So it's those little things. You're like, all right, I know I told him that we on a public. We on a church station. Now, the Heifers are on a church station. Let me tell you that.
Oh, well, baby cakes in. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I used to pull Michelle to the side when stuff like that would happen. And I said, I guarantee you that nigga been on Oprah Winfrey, he would have never done that.
Yep.
So I looked at it as a lack of respect.
Right. Okay. I see.
Yeah.
No, that's just how I looked at it.
No, but
you know where the hell we are. You walked into the church. Even though to me it was a fake ass church because the nigga used to be a pimp. And I think his first lady was his hoe. But anyway,
that was his top.
Yeah. So, but I'm still saying you walked in church doors. You know how the radio station does. This is not new to anybody. If I can remember not to curse and say certain things, you can too.
Right. Yep. So now let me ask you this. How do you think your podcast stands out from other genres?
There's no other flavor like the Gossip and Heifers.
I could tell you that too. I can testify to that.
We've had people who tried to duplicate us.
Girl.
The chemistry is not there, baby. And it's a form of flattery, but it's also laughable to us because if you got chemistry with people or you got an idea, then good, roll with it. But when you directly try to take the same cookie cutter and try to bend it a little bit differently and see if the cookie sell, it don't. It don't.
And I think people...
You're not going to find any outstanding personalities like us. You're not going to find any other hosts that, that was doing podcasts that keep it 100.
Right. Right. And it took me a minute to even get my podcast going because I've been fighting in tooth and nail because I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in the front. I like being in the back. So now I'm forced to be up in the front and have to show, hey, it's me.
But you're doing good, Mona. I love it. I love your personality. You come across very genuine, and that's something you don't get a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So and you're fun. You make us laugh without nobody getting mad, giggle, and have a good time. That's what it should be all about.
Always have fun. Have fun.
Yep.
But I think the main problem people, like Michelle was talking about, was trying to duplicate us. Oh, y'all get the hell out of here. They forget chemistry is so important. If people cannot bounce off of each other,
right,
it's not going to work. It's not going to work about the chemistry.
So let me ask you this. What's that question? How do you see the future of the Gossip and Heifers and any long-term goals for the podcast?
Honestly, Mona, we put the podcast on hiatus.
Okay.
For a number of reasons. The main reason, because everybody thought, oh, they got bullied. No, we decided to pull the plug because number one, we never really had a chance to grieve after our mother passed.
I got it.
We inserted ourselves in too much work and then inserted ourselves around so many toxic people trying to stay busy and not grieve.
Not think about it.
Right. And we really didn't have a chance to think about it. Then we have been doing this podcast since 2007.
Off and on. We took a hiatus.
Off and on. Right. And it wasn't until we came back until we got back to Houston and they asked us to do a show on their on 2 different radio stations, really 3. And we said, you know what, we are missing out on life because every week we will both work. Then after work, I got to work on the outline for the show. Right. Because I want the show to have content and we don't want no blank spaces. Right. So we want to make sure it's fulfilled and then the audience is entertained. Right. It got to be a lot. And people who don't do podcasts do not understand how much work is involved behind the scenes. Y'all just in the audience is appreciated, but y'all show up and y'all don't know all the work. You don't know all the work that's been done. And then me and Rocky had to put on all our fucking makeup and shit on after a long day.
Okay.
And I say another thing that was really pissing Michelle and I off was Michelle was doing all this work because we were on different platforms at the same time. Radio, we were in Ohio, Mississippi, Memphis, Texas, and some other. And Michelle was putting the show together where all they had to do was slide in commercials in. They didn't have to do nothing. Okay. And you all are not was not offering no money. Right. You want content. And me and Michelle were like, no. Yeah. Because if you playing commercials, guess what? You making money during our show. Right. And I'm not, and I told Michelle the one thing I'm not doing is doing any damn thing else for free.
Free.
Right.
Nothing.
I hear you. So can you share any funny moments, anything that happened that you could remember during the recording or live show? Any funny or surprising moments?
Rocky, you got anything that racks your brain about something?
Girl, you know my mind be bad. I'm trying to think. You know, I may have flirted a little bit, you know, here or there. I shook my titties at Godfrey. You know, I'm so sorry, Godfrey. I had to shake my titties. Besides me about to go off on your boy Christopher Williams, I asked him a question and he didn't want to answer, so he just acted like I wasn't talking. I wasn't saying shit. And most of my funny moments has been like, did this motherfucker just what? Really? Oh, that's what you thought you was gonna do. Oh no, that's not what you
Oh my God, that is so funny. Man, to be the fly on the wall, to hang out with y'all, I swear to God, that shit is so funny.
Man, half the time, if y'all saw Rocky's facial expressions, we were on radio and the guest wasn't acting right, Rocky's face would say so damn much. I will never forget, we walked in the studio one day. The studio manager had pissed Rocky off.
Ooh, look, I know exactly what you're talking about. Nigga was late.
And we had a local singer that was a big deal at the time around town. And we were all sitting at the studio waiting. And then he's trying to be jokeful as he opened the door. I ain't that late. You know, and Rocky was like,
I said, no, dude, you about 10 minutes late. He made a joke about an Android or some shit or iPhone or something. And I'm looking at him like, nigga.
This is not professional.
You got us outside with our guest.
Right.
Waiting. And the funny thing is, it was streaming, and my dad immediately knew when he saw my face. He said, who the fuck pissed Rocky off?
Yeah.
I think it took 30 minutes for me to even start talking during the interview.
It did, because when Rocky gets
I was stone faced.
She gets stone faced. She sit there.
No, you can't do that, girl.
No, when I'd rather her.
I know.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Rather her do that than curse somebody out, right?
Curse somebody out. I'd rather her stonewall.
Yeah.
And hold back, and she can curse all she wants to on the way back home. Okay. So
I'm like, I would rather leave. Like if something happened right now, like let's say you pull somebody up talking shit. Okay, bloop, exit. I'm leaving. I'd rather just leave. Because there's no in between with me anymore.
Well, I'm glad this has been a smooth. Ain't nobody, But
I had to learn, Mona, going through my development with my spiritual. Everybody don't deserve my energy.
Right.
I don't care because my dad and Michelle used to get mad. Don't leave. Yeah. Fuck y'all.
Right.
I'm reserving my energy and my blood pressure right now.
Right.
So what's better for me is what I'm going to do, and that's just exit stage left.
Exit stage left.
Because if I stay,
it's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be nigga on 2000.
That's why I'd rather her. I said, and I know her, and I know when she's sitting there with the car. I said, look, y'all, please leave her alone. Don't say nothing to her. Yeah. Leave her alone.
Yeah, it's gonna be nigga 10,000. And that's why I just like, look, leave me alone. I've had, and Michelle knows, for some reason, people like to test me first.
I don't know why.
Yeah, people love to play and test with me before. I don't, and it mainly be men. I don't know if they think, oh, well, she just funny. I'm gonna have fun with her. I'm gonna get her to call me a mofo, because you know. Now, and Lawrence Killebrew, because he came on our show and flipped it and interviewed us. It was hilarious. But Lawrence Killebrew talks shit all the time, But I love it. He's an arrogant, cocky, hilarious nigga. Let's say that. That's the best way to describe it. And, you know, when he would fuck with me, it wasn't an offensive matter, but I would have some people try me. Nigga, why?
Why? Right.
Let me go get you some Hennessy and chill and come back.
Right.
And that's it. As long as you don't piss Rocky off, we're going to have smooth sales.
But I just don't know why people like to play with me.
Because they like to get a rise out of you. That's why.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, but see, there's a good rise and then there's a bad rise. So if you don't know how to play with me, like I said, like Lawrence be talking mad shit, but he's never offended me. He's a stupid ass Negro.
Right.
Ignorant nigga. And it's like Ali Sadiq will check my ass in a heartbeat. I never forget I said some shit to Ali Sadiq. And that nigga, he get on my nerve because he be remembering shit. I made a comment. Oh, you like Michelle more than you like me. I'm sitting in the cut. He gonna bring me in the live.
Yeah.
He said, I like Michelle more than I like you. What's up? I'm like, well, damn, Ali. Gonna put a Negro on the spot like this.
Oh Lord, Ali Sadiq know how to get to Rocky, I promise you. But he know how to do it in a fun way.
Yeah.
Because they got their birthdays are like this far apart.
Yes.
They got similar energy. So that's why I'm like, look, if you and Ali ever got into it, which has never happened, thank God.
Right.
It would be colossal. So
I'm telling you.
Yeah, we have so much in common though, because that's what Michelle tell folks, don't go down that Black Power hour, Rocky, because it's gonna be, I'll go there.
Yeah. And I would be right there cheering you on, honey.
Power to the people, y'all.
Power to the people. All right, last question. What advice would you give to someone looking to start their own podcast?
God bless you for one.
Thank you. Thank you, because I'm learning. Thank God for Tamika, because I would not know what to do without that girl. Oh, man, I wouldn't know what to do without
It's a
Tamika.
plus when you got somebody that can work behind the scenes, because we didn't have nobody working behind the scenes. Everything we was doing was on hand while we was doing
it was us.
So please get in your mind what you're going to talk about, the theme of your show, and how often you're going to broadcast. Because there's no need of doing a podcast. I understand you take a break for the holiday or you need to take a little 2-week hiatus, but you have to be consistent with your episodes. Right. Because you're never going to build if you put out an episode here, episode there. There's been so many podcasts that I've listened to and followed that some of them now I've forgotten even exist because they're not consistent. You know, because I'll usually make sure I look forward to, like, my new podcast obsession is Run Food. Okay. And that's by creator Rodney Barnes, who did the Boondocks. He's got Black comic horror series out, but it's a horror short story series. Right. And I look forward to every day he publishes a new episode, because it's just that good of a production. So make your audience, make your audience look forward to your content. Right. I listen to the Amanda Seals podcast. Her show's always popping with knowledge. Godfrey, the same thing. And even though I know Corey Holcomb ain't too big on the woman spectrum, but I listen to it for certain points of view you don't hear every single day. Right. And I need to understand that form of thinking just in case. Right. Not saying I want to deal with it, but just in case I come across it, I kind of have an idea on what the hell's going on.
Michelle, I think Corey Holcomb is mad niggering, mad disrespectful, mad aggressive. But every now and then he will say something that makes sense. Right. I'll give him that. But just because he has this toxic energy, especially when it comes to women, I won't listen to him. Michelle's even admitted, listen to a show, how he talks over the one female co-host.
Yeah. And I see that a lot with a lot of male platforms that have a female co-host. Like when Angela Yee was on the Breakfast Club. It used to tick me off when Charlamagne and DJ Envy would always interrupt her news story and always got a comment. I'm like, would y'all let her flow?
No, they don't do it.
Crack jokes afterwards. It's like no respect for your female co-host. Yeah, so if you have a mixture of a man and a woman, respect each other's space. Let each other land. Don't talk over each other.
But they mainly do it to the women, and I always like to remind men, just because your pussy fell out don't make you better.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. All right. So now, before we go, where can they find you?
We're on YouTube. Of course, we're always on Instagram. Also follow us on Facebook. But since the hiatus is taking place, Rocky's involved with a lot of different projects. Okay. And I also have a cookbook coming out. Hopefully this week. Called
Mama's Cookbook. Say Mama's Cookbook.
Mama's Kitchen, yeah.
Mama's Kitchen.
And you want to fight on Mona shit? Let's do it.
You see the kind of shit I gotta deal with, okay? But I'm still, I'm like I said, I had to actually rewrite the book because there was some format issues. So I'm finishing up that now. But I'm also getting a chance to learn our mother's history.
Yes.
Because she did more outside the kitchen. Okay. Just as her cooking was good, she did a lot of stuff that people do not understand. This is the reason why you're able to go to the library.
Right.
This is the reason why you were able to celebrate certain stuff, because she was part of the civil rights movement. So I wanted to make sure I share her story as well as her recipes.
Yeah, I made sure I shared her story with that black nurse that was caring for my mama on her deathbed. I want you to know who you caring for.
Right.
Because our mother, and I'm going to tell the story real quick, Mona, but she was a teacher in Memphis, Tennessee. She did a sit-in. I can't remember if it was a restaurant or a library.
It was Memphis Public Libraries.
Yeah, and it was all white. Mama got arrested for the sit-in and was banned from teaching school in Memphis, Tennessee. So she had to go into the little corner areas of Mississippi to start teaching.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted her, and there was a young black girl. She said, "Oh, girl, your mom was a damn." She said, "Oh, forgive me." I said, "No, you good." She's a damn superhero. Okay, mama. So put some respect on her.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of different stuff. So that's why I'm just creating that. I'm very proud of the publication, getting more stories. So hopefully that'll be in everybody's kitchen very soon.
Yeah, somebody
I'll get that
in the comments. Yeah,
just let me know when it come out so I can.
Yeah, Granny, we're working. That's the reason why I had to reformat the book, because Amazon has super crazy restrictions and conditions to upload any manuscript to their platform. Okay. So I am finalizing the graphics in here now, and I'm hoping by the end of this week that it'll be on Amazon. But trust me, y'all will see flyers, reels, everything once that's
it will be out. Because Michelle's plan was to have it April 5th. That was Mama's second year anniversary of her passing.
Right.
But once she realized she had to reformat it for Amazon. For which it was kind of good, because Michelle was able to also go back and add more stories and fix some things that she saw that she wasn't pleased with. But it will be out soon, y'all.
Okay. Yeah. I can't wait. Just let me know so I can get my copy.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't wait. Do you have any vegan recipes in there? Any type of vegan recipes?
I got a couple of smoothies in there. I got some mushroom bacon recipe, because I know a lot of folks. I tried to include a few. I mean, it is mainly a cheap cookbook.
Yes.
For family dinners, but I did want to throw some healthy alternatives in there, and plus people can alter the recipes with meat replacement.
I was finna say that, because a lot of people use cauliflower, some use mushrooms. All you gotta do is like separate that and just still season it the same way you would. But a lot of all these recipes are mainly from great grandmother to our mother, to our Aunt Sandra, and me and Michelle and cousins. That my mom, when we had a family reunion the first time, she had a little slim one. And then when we had the second one, Mama had a thick one.
Right.
And it was given out in the
this is the first one.
That's the very first one.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Yeah, Taylor Jones family reunion. So, and she made the other one is much thicker and bigger.
She probably got that. You got that one too, Michelle?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
She's trying to find it. And I cooked faithfully since been cooking out of that cookbook.
And people outside our family got a hold of this cookbook, and they are excited that we revived. But see, you see how thick this?
There we go. Look at that. Wow.
That's the second one Mama did.
That's the second one. So I collaborate all the family stories, find out more about her history, and put the recipes in a certain order. And this is going to be the first of a cookbook series. There will be several other different cookbooks that come behind what we're calling Mama's Kitchen.
And it was easy to do because our mother was a Pisces and a teacher, so she was extra.
Okay.
Mama broke things down like Super Bowl Sunday, grandmama's birthday party. She even made cookies up for her own for our dad. It's like a fruit cake, but it's in a cookie, and they're actually good.
Wow.
And she calls them Tiger's Christmas cookies.
Okay. Tiger. Damn.
That's what they call. That's what she called my dad, Tiger.
That was for daddy. That was for daddy, Tiger.
That's a daddy.
Damn. Yeah. But listen, ladies, I want to thank y'all for coming out and hanging out with me for this little hour and so.
Yes,
it's been a pleasure. You guys are so dope. I can't wait, because we got some other stuff we're working on. I can't wait till we just get going what we got going. So
exactly.
I want to thank everyone who's here tonight on the show. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. every Monday, 7 p.m. And the sponsor for this show is Vegan Hood, vegan restaurant in Harlem. If you're not in Harlem, Google it, and y'all need to come to Harlem and try the food. And I will see y'all again next Monday. Y'all have
bless you, Mona.
Thank you,
Mona,
so much. Thank you.
Peace, y'all.
Thank you for listening and hanging out with me at Uptown with Mona. See you next Monday, 7 p.m. Today's show is sponsored by
Come eat with me at Vegan Hood in New York City. I heard that they had the best vegan fried chicken here, so I had to come check it out. For appetizers, we ordered the cheese fries and the Beyond Meat stuffed empanadas. Both were super delicious. And for entrees, of course, we had to try their famous vegan fried chicken and their shrimp fry. I have to say, this is probably the best vegan comfort food I've ever had. The mac and cheese was so tasty, the potato salad was well seasoned and flavorful. I'm telling you, you need to check this place out next time you're in New York. Like and follow for more vegan recs.